Welcome to Movie Recall. In today's video, we will be going through the 2023 movie A Lifeguard's Obsession. It's time to recall, let's get started, turn on subtitles, and spoilers ahead. The movie starts and we see a girl and a boy sitting on their surfboards in the sea, and it seems like they are far from the shore. The girl talks about how dating her own coach was the worst experience of her life because she is traumatic about that. He, however, tells her to leave it behind her because they are together now. She is still not able to enjoy the moment, and the boy tells her not to worry about her swimming coach coming there because he has brought her to a far-off place to just chill. This is when the boy, whose name is Tyson, he is grabbed and dragged away deep into the water by an unknown creature. The girl also dives, and with that, the scene changes to 6 months later in California. A young girl named Maggie is working as a bartender. Her boss AJ joins her and he is pretty friendly to her. She is, however, not too happy about him coming late because she missed her lunch because of that. She is also making a necklace with seashells, and AJ appreciates that talent of hers. He then asks her if she is meeting her famous boyfriend today, but she says that she has other plans now. She then gets her surfboard and walks towards the beach while a handsome guy named Blake looks at her from afar using his binoculars. She looks really sexy and he likes that. As he looks on, she gets slipped from her board and falls into the water. Her leg seems to be injured, so she does not swim up for a while, and Blake notices that. The next thing we see, he is holding her underwater and trying to get her to the shore. In the meantime, a guy named Cade is seen talking to his fans on social media when a girl named Tyne approaches and hits on him. Blake takes Maggie to the shore and Cade notices it. She is actually Cade's girlfriend, and Cade goes on to give her a piece of his mind for swimming despite the fact that the doctor told her not to do that yet. We learn that they are lifeguards and work together too. She then notices Tina hitting on him and tells Cade that she does not like it. She also makes it clear that she does not like the fact that he spends so much time on social media, but he argues, saying he makes way more money doing that than he does as a lifeguard. This is when Blake joins them and tells them that he is a new lifeguard there. She then tells Cade to give her and Blake a minute, which he finds weird because Cade is actually her boyfriend. He leaves, but he surely holds a grudge against Blake now. When Maggie and Cade get back to their place, they again start butting heads about her wanting to swim despite being unfit. The next day, she is on her break when Blake surprises her with a gift, which is an infrared knee massager that could help her with a speedy recovery. She thanks him and he tells her that he loves to see her smile, and the two go for a walk. She finds a nice colored seashell which she has been trying to find. She tells him that she wants to take her seashells art to the seaside gallery, but the owner named Sam has been rejecting her so far. When Blake is looking at the seashell in her hand, Cade sees them, and he gets there, he pushes him away from her and asks him why he is touching his girlfriend. She tells Cade that he was just looking at her seashell. Cade apologizes and Blake leaves. When they get back to their apartment, she tells Cade that they need some time apart from each other and leaves. Tina is looking at Cade's pictures creepily on her phone when Blake sees her doing that, but he does not say anything about it. The next morning, he is waiting at the spot right where he thinks Maggie will come, and she shows up. She tells him that she is on her way to the art gallery to show a new piece she has just created. She shows him the piece and he is really impressed. He tells her to keep it up because he thinks she has the knack for it. He then offers to walk her to the gallery, and she tells him that she tried finding him on social media last night but couldn't. He reveals that he is not on social media because it distracts him from the real world. He keeps saying things which she actually wants to hear because she is sick of Cade being on social media all the time. In the meantime, Cade is on his post when Tina comes to him and asks him about Maggie, but he tells her that he does not know, implying that things are not well between them. Tina then asks him if he has told Maggie about them, but he tells her that he has not gotten the chance to do that because things have been going south already. It's implied that these two had a hormone sandwich a few months ago, and since then, Tina has been trying to get him back in the sack, but he is not serious about her. He tells her that it was a mistake, and she gets offended and leaves. Back at that art gallery, when they get there, Maggie is shocked to see someone just broke all the pieces in the gallery, and everything is in ruins. She meets Sam, the owner, who tells her she had no idea who did that. Maggie then shows her the piece that she has crafted recently, and Sam tells her that it is good, but not good enough to be kept at her gallery. This is when Blake stands up for Maggie and tells Sam that Maggie's art is really unique, and he does not really see many sea-based artistic pieces in this gallery, so it kind of loses the purpose of being a seaside gallery. He adds that Maggie's art is purely seaside, so she should really consider it. After much persuasion, Sam gives Maggie the chance. She allows her to exhibit her art at the gallery, and Maggie hugs Blake. the two start getting closer. However, as she hugs Blake, Tina is passing by and she sees that. She right away goes to Cade and tells him about it. In the meantime, AJ is at his diner when Maggie and Blake go there. Maggie introduces him to AJ, and as they get to talk, AJ does not get a good vibe from him. He sees a stopwatch AJ is wearing and recognizes it from a high school in his time. He asks him if Blake ever competed in a swimming competition, but he declines and starts getting a little uneasy in front of AJ. Maggie then takes a day off from AJ because she has to set up the art gallery, and when they are about to leave, AJ tells Maggie to talk to him in private, and when Blake is away, he tells her to be careful because he is not getting a good vibe from Blake. Later, they get to talk while setting up the gallery, and he asks her why she did not ask her boyfriend to help her, and she tells him that Cade does not really care about these things, and on top of that, things get dramatic when he is around, so she's better off without him for now. He then tells her that he thinks there is something going on between Cade and Tina, which Maggie already suspects, so she does not comment on that. She rather goes on to say that she needs a swim, and they go to a private pool where it is just the two of them. He goes on to take off his clothes in front of her, and she also gets naked and jumps in the pool with him. She keeps thanking him for all that he's been doing for her and tells him about her life. She reveals that she went to university to study oceanography, but she dropped out when she got hurt because she lost all hope until her art came along. She then goes on to ask him about his past life, but he tells her that he is really not interesting. It is again implied that he is trying to hide something from her. As they talk, she tells him that she really needed this, and the next thing we see, they're making out. They proceed to have a hormone sandwich, and after that, fall asleep by the pool. The pool guy gets there, and they hide right away. This is when she checks her phone, and it is morning already. She sees that Cade has been calling her all night. He is also at the swimming complex, and he has seen her car outside. He calls her again, and this time, she is about to pick up, but Blake tells her not to do that. She says that he has been texting since last night, at which Blake angrily grabs her arm and tells her in a controlling manner not to answer the phone. She still answers, and Cade tells her that he is outside the swimming complex. She lies to him, saying she has already left, but had to leave her car there because the battery died. He tells her to call him whenever she is ready to talk. The next day, Blake goes to see Maggie at AJ's place, and he tells him that she looked exhausted, so she gave her the day off. AJ then notices the shirt Blake is wearing, and there is a logo of a burger brand. He tells Blake that these burgers are great, but they are only found on Cocoa Beach, which again makes Blake worried, and it seems as if he is trying to hide who he really is. Blake tells him to stop asking him questions, or he could get in trouble. AJ says that he likes getting in trouble. He then goes on to do a background check on Blake, and it turns out he is a violent man, and his name is Ryan. When he confronts Ryan about it, Ryan starts getting rude, but AJ threatens to rat him out to Maggie and to the police if he does not tell him the truth right away. The scene then changes to her gallery opening where Blake shows up. It turns out to be a success, and Blake keeps sucking up to her as he always does. This is when Cade also shows up, and when he tries to talk to Maggie, Blake attacks him. He fights back, and Maggie shouts at them to stop. She then kicks both of them out of the event. We later see Blake cursing himself and shouting, hitting things in anger as he felt insulted when Maggie kicked him out of there. The next day, Cade goes to see Maggie and persuades her to go out with him for a cup of coffee because he wants to talk to her. She finally caves. In the meantime, when Tina is in the girls' shower room, Blake sneaks in there wearing a hoodie and goes on to steal her phone. She, however, comes out when he is still in there, so he has to attack her to get out of there. But during that, he drops his stopwatch, which he is always wearing, so she now knows that it was Blake. In the meantime, when Maggie is with Cade, Blake sends some nudes from Tina's phone to Cade, which Maggie sees. She confronts him about it, and he says that there is nothing between them, but he does admit that he did it with her once. She tells him never to speak to her again and leaves. Cade goes to Tina to confront her about the pictures, and she tells him that her phone was stolen last night, and both of them now know that Blake is the one behind everything. Tina then decides that she is going to talk to Maggie about it. She goes to see her and tells her that she did not send those pictures to Cade. She then shows her the stopwatch that Blake dropped, and the two finally talk properly. Maggie now knows what Blake truly is. She forgives Tina for telling her that they all mistake at times, adding that she will talk to Cade later. They also learn through the stopwatch that Blake has been stalking Maggie for quite a while now. Maggie goes to see Blake and tells him that she appreciates what he has done for her, but she does not want to see him anymore. He starts acting weirdly as he begs her not to do this, saying that they are in love. She makes it clear that it was just a one-time thing and she is not in love with him. Blake texts Cade from Tina's phone telling him that Maggie wants to see him at the old shack. Cade goes there right away only to get stabbed from behind by Blake. He is, however, on call with Maggie when he gets stabbed, and the last thing he says is Blake. After that, AJ's dead body is found on the beach and Maggie is heartbroken. Maggie then decides that she is going to get on his tower and find out secrets about him. He, however, goes to the infirmary and takes an injection. Tina follows him, but he sees her and puts her to sleep with that injection. Sam calls Maggie and tells her that all her art has been stolen from the gallery. Maggie manages to find his diary and sees all the stuff he has written about her. He also sees all the sexy photos that he has been taking of her whenever she was on the beach. He, however, attacks her from behind, and the next thing we see, she is tied up in the old shack. He admits to killing AJ and Cade. In the meantime, we see Tina getting her consciousness back deep underwater. She manages to swim up just in time. Blake tells Maggie that he wanted to take her away where they can start a new life together. She then says that she wants to use the bathroom, and there she finds Cade's dead body too. When she goes out, she sees Tina in the room and Blake is holding her down as he tells her that she is really hard to get rid of. He is about to kill Tina when Maggie knocks him out and gets out of there. Blake, however, catches up to her and there is a face-off between the two. She goes on to stab him in the neck using a seashell and runs away. In the next scene, we see Maggie surfing in the ocean while Tina stands in her tower and looks at her. 6 months later, we see Blake on a Florida beach where he is working as a lifeguard there now. He is seen stalking yet another girl, and with that, the movie comes to an end. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to get new movie recaps.